And we're back with your coffee break live on the HAN network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, and I'm joined now by Jay Pinto, president of this year's Milford Oyster Festival. Huge event, Jay. I'm sure you've been really busy.
Yeah, it's a fun week setting up. Nice to be here, Kate. I appreciate the invitation.
And incredible, you just mentioned off air, 41st Milford Oyster Festival.
41st, 1975 was the first year, and it's getting bigger every year.
Wow, and I know we have some great photos of just past events. I try to go every year because the most amazing thing about it is it's free.
It's free. We keep it free. You know, I mean, we want everybody to come and enjoy the day, whether you're 5 or 85. Just come and enjoy the show. There's a lot there. So.
And it kind of kicks off. Oyster Eve is Friday, right? Tell us about that.
Yeah, Oyster Eve we started about 5 or 6 years ago because we can't have a 2-day festival because the city won't shut the city streets down. So our best bet was to have them do a Friday night thing where we can have it. A 4-hour evening type of event where there's music and there's oysters and food and beer and wine. It's just a great 4-hour kickoff to the festival on Saturday.
Yeah, and tell us kind of what happens Saturday. When do things get going?
Saturday, the festival starts at 10 o'clock. It goes from 10 to 6. And from there on, it just gets busier all throughout the day. There's so much there between the arts and crafts, and we have a classic car show, multiple stages with bands, of course, our famous oyster shucking and eating competition, kids rides, everything. We've got everything that you could imagine.
Right, and I mean, you draw in thousands. I mean, is there a count on how many people you guys bring in every year?
Our best bet on a good weather day like we're going to have this weekend will probably be between 40 and 50,000 throughout the day. It's the largest one-day festival in Connecticut.
Wow.
Yeah.
And like you said, you guys are all volunteers. Yeah. Do you know how this event even got started and how oysters kind of became the focus of it?
Yeah, it's a great question. The oyster industry used to be a very important economic part of Milford. And so organizers back in the mid-'70s decided to find a way to celebrate that while also focusing on nonprofit and civic groups, how to help them raise money. So it's the purpose is to raise money for all these local organizations while celebrating how important the oyster industry used to be. Right. And so it's just grown since then.
And a big part of the event has become the live talent that you guys are able to bring in. And there's a lot of pretty sweet 90s bands coming this year. Could you tell us who's going to take the stage?
We seem to have a 90s theme going this year. We have 3, on our main stage, we have 3 national bands. Opening the day is the Rembrandts, and they're famous for doing their the theme to the Friends sitcom. And then after that is Fastball, who is also a great 90s band. And then headlining the main stage is the Gin Blossoms, who we're very excited to have. And if you don't like the 90s music, on our Harbor stage, we have one of the best nationally known Jimmy Buffett cover bands.
Oh, cool.
So if you don't like the 90s music, you go over to our Harbor stage at Listman Landing, and Jimmy and the Parrots will have you some great summertime music all day.
Wow, and I got to say, what was it, a couple years ago when Blues Traveler was there? I was just able to get right in there, and you're just so close to the stage. I know you guys had Bret Michaels recently. What are some of the other
We've
big
had
acts?
Kansas, Marshall Tucker, Joan Jett, John Cafferty. There's many more, but those are some of the big ones we've had recently, and Spin Doctors and Blues Traveler.
And you can just get right up there, which is so neat.
Yeah, it's a great day, you know.
Yeah, and if over 21, there is an area for beer and wine, correct?
Yep, that's there's 2 areas where we serve beer. One is in the main stage area, and one is over in Listman Landing, where the Jimmy and the Parrots are playing at the Harbor stage. Wristband 21 and over, but in both locations you can get beer and wine.
Right, and on the green area, you guys have a lot of like local crafters and vendors. I know in the past years I've tried some hot sauces, and there's people that sell jewelry. It's a really good mix of things.
There's over 200 crafters on the green, and they're all handmade. They make handmade products or food, and it's the largest arts and crafts festival in Connecticut as well, with over 200 crafters and a lot of businesses on the green that give out good discounts and good deals. So it's a great area to just stroll and enjoy the day.
Right, and you do get a lot of community organizations involved. I know there's usually police departments set up doing canine training and demonstrations.
Correct, they're there. People love that. The dogs are trained so phenomenally, and to put that on display, people really like that. There's actually over 70 nonprofit groups helping to further their cause that day, either selling water or ice cream or just raising awareness to their group. And that's really the purpose. Whatever you're buying at the festival, mostly all of it is you're supporting a local nonprofit or civic organization, because that's the purpose of the festival.
Right.
So.
And Jay, what are you most excited about this year?
I'm most excited about the weather.
Yes.
I mean, I just see a big orange sun on my phone weather. So that and just the way that it gets put together, and knowing that we're going to get through the day and have just a fantastic day.
That's incredible. And you did bring an old belt buckle. Tell us about this.
That belt buckle was actually given to me by a friend of mine that they found at a flea market in New Milford, upstate Connecticut. Yes, and so he bought it for me. That's from the second year, from 1976. They were obviously sold as souvenirs. The first 2 years the festival was worked in conjunction with the Chamber of Commerce, and so that was from 1976.
It's really neat. It's heavy duty too.
Yeah.
So anything else you want to highlight about the event that we haven't touched on?
Yeah, the oysters.
The oysters, right.
I mean, we're going to have 35,000 oysters. 2 years ago, we had 20,000, so it's growing dramatically. And our oyster shuckers, they're national champions. They are world champions, USA champions. So the shucking contest is the real deal. It's international rules, and that's directly behind the library. And then, of course, we have our famous oyster eating competition, which is much more of a funny situation.
Right.
It's not,
How do they eat them? Do they put anything on them, or they just...
They can if they want.
Okay.
They can dress them up however they want, or eat them as we call neat, which means with nothing on it.
Right.
So that's more of a fun event, and we invite some local friends to do that, and that's a good funny day.
Wow.
Donning and I will not be entering the oyster eating contest, to my knowledge.
So he just tried oysters for the first time a couple weeks ago. Can you believe it?
But that would be the funniest part if you did, because if something happened,
that would be hilarious.
It would add to the charm of the day.
That would be hilarious. Jay, real quick, just before we wrap, transportation. You run shuttles from a couple of locations.
Yes, we do.
But it's also very convenient from the train, which is how I plan to go.
The train is the way to go. It drops you right at the green, literally a half a block from the green. Take any of the train stops to there. But the shuttle buses are from Jonathan Law High School and from the Rio parking lot in Westfield, Connecticut Mall. It takes you also a half a block from the festival. Free shuttles.
It's great. I'm really looking forward to it, and you hit a home run with the forecast.
We did. Thank you.
And just amazing that you guys are all volunteers. You do such a great job. I mean, you know, we all owe you a lot of credit because it's such a fun event.
It's fun, and so to see it come from behind the scenes, it really gets you exciting to see that volunteers can put something together, and it happens every year like a well-oiled machine.
Great. Well, Jay, one more time, tell us the dates and times that people can check out.
Oyster Eve is Friday, this Friday the 14th from 10 to 6 at Listman Landing. That's where Jimmy and the Parrots will be and everything else. And then Saturday is all downtown from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. on the 15th.
Jay Pinto, thanks so much. And be sure to check out this weekend's Milford Oyster Festival. We're going to take a quick break and be back. Look at some front pages of this week's newspapers after this.